Okay, in this clip, this one is from A Clockwork Orange again. And this is the scene where the guys, his running mates, decide they want out of his little crew or they want someone else to run the crew. So we're going to look at the linear motif on this, the use of lines and how it changes and shapes as well. And you see this one, we have a lot going on. We have a combination of diagonal lines as well as vertical lines, which is a contrast in the quality of line or direction of lines. We also have shapes going on, the squares in the background, rectangles. Excuse me, as well as the surface division caused by the vertical lines. So this is the scene, letting it play out, and we should see the main character coming down the stairs pretty soon here. Now that photo, that huge painting on the wall to the right over here becomes very pivotal, a big part of the composition in the next few shots. And here we go to this shot. It's almost a lack of lines. We have these faint lines here, but also we have to remember the axis, the vertical axis going through the characters here, this guy, as well as points of interest going from here to here. Down to this, which is a high contrast of it, where we have a contrasting lines within the shot. We have both vertical lines as well as horizontal, a combination of horizontal and vertical lines on the side. So again, this is relevant because they're going to try and change leadership of the group. And I want to look at this scene in relationship to the next scene after it, the contrasting scene. So these are pretty much the shots here in this one, as far as our camera movements. I'm sorry, this one where we have the shadows, the difference in tone caused by the shadow, as well as the stairwell, giving us these diagonal lines, as well as the axis of the shadows and the characters, which is highly contrasting the shot before. Now we have a triangle going from the points of interest, the eyes, right here to here to here. Okay, let me see if I can forward it to the next scene. So they kind of they lay out their conditions. Okay, so this is the scene afterwards where they've laid out their conditions and now they're walking along this walkway. Again, we have squares in the background, but notice there's diffusion, textural diffusion from the natural distance. Um, so we have those. We have the water line here from the sidewalk, as well as these odd lines. These lines coming here diagonal from the contrast between the colors of the brick. And there's a general unity in tone in this. There's not much tonal contrast between their costumes, what they're wearing, and the background. And this is just a fight scene coming up. And we're going to see a huge contrast in this fight scene between the lines or the shots and the use of lines or the lack thereof. There we go into the water. We have a horizontal line here, and still that horizontal line and a couple of vertical lines for the building in the background. Now we go to this shot where there are no lines. Let's save for this edge of the building behind him. But for the most part, there were not lines dominating that picture. Here we go again. High contrast from that to this. There are no lines here to no lines here as well. It's almost as if it could be a different location. There's tonal affinity. And now, extremely contrasting shot in color, tone, and texture. This right here, coming to this shot. Also, the quality of the line. We have these curved linear lines now, contrasting from the previous shot, as well as these vertical lines from the pillars and the axis lines going through the characters. Some camera movement here, and we rest on this shot. Where the linear motif again is extremely complicated and lines going in several different directions. Okay, so that's it for this clip.